but Kay wouldn't leave me alone. They continued to buzz around and eventually hit me off my pillar. A fall this high would have killed me. Luckily, I had my water bucket to save me from the impact. I'm getting nowhere like this. I need to rebuild my calculator to get past K. On days 39 through 42, I returned home to get to work on my base. I focused up and pretty quickly finished my one structure. One. After that, using the materials I got from I got to work on a garden. I made sure to make it big to account for my one clone army I planned to build. After that, I went mining and pretty quickly found diamond. Cha-ching! I returned to the surface and used them to make diamond boots. Once I was done, Zero walked up to me.
Zero.
You have a birthday gift for me? Nobody's ever remembered my birthday before. Zero excitedly tossed over a list of things I needed to rebuild my calculator. This is a great start. Thanks, Zero. Out of nowhere, 3 came up and attacked me. Although he gave it his all, I was much more powerful than they were. I took him out easy. I can't give you this gem back, but how about I build you a place to stay as compensation?
3.
I quickly got to work on a house. I made sure to make it look as much like 3 as possible. After a lot of work, I did just that.
3.
No need to apologize for attacking me. I get it.
3.
No problem. I'm glad you like it. I set off on days 43 through 45 to find the first item on my list, obsidian. I just needed some diamonds to make a diamond pickaxe. Unfortunately, I was all out. Dang it, I used all my diamonds up on boots. I gotta find more. I went down into some caves to start mining. I searched all over, but wasn't having much luck. There's gotta be some more diamonds somewhere. While I was digging, I ended up tunneling into a room with 2 doors. What the? Each door was labeled with a number, mine included. Well, of course I'll always pick 1. I opened the door hoping to find a nice prize, but instead, I found F waiting for me. F. Ah! F jumped out and attacked me. He lunged at me with his diamond sword, and I fought back at him with everything I had. I used my math book to blast him, but it wasn't enough. I pulled out every power in my arsenal to take him down. He was fast and jumped around me, but he was no match for my barrage of attacks. Luckily, I was stronger than F, and he didn't have any backup this time to help. I hit him with a final blow and defeated him. I really have gotten stronger. I looked at F sitting there unconscious. I could have killed him then, but the strange feeling I had when I freed I came back again. Ugh, I'm out of here. I decided to spare F and started to leave. Back to finding Oh, there's some. I noticed diamonds in the room where I entered. How did I not see those earlier? Well, diamonds for me. I mined the diamonds and then went and found some lava. I poured water on the lava and collected what I came for. 1 piece down, 2 more to go. I turned and went off to the rest of the cave to continue my search. On days 46 through 49, I started searching for the second item on my list, gold. Well, I have obsidian now. Why not try the nether? I built a portal and hopped through it. When I arrived, I was already next to a bastion. Well, that's convenient. I went inside and mined the place for all the gold it had. Once I had enough, I was ready to leave when suddenly 8 ran up to me.
8.
7, 8, 9? Take me there! I followed 8 to find 7 alone, but he was bigger than usual. 7? Spit 9 out!
7.
7, do what I say. I'm number 1, remember?
7.
Hey, Infinity may have that title for now, but I'll show you. He had some kind of crazy ability that slashed me over and over. It also negated my levitation ability whenever it was activated, so I could barely use it. Luckily, I had my Valhalla sword, which kept smacking him up in the air, keeping him away from me. He was big and strong and kept hitting me with a flurry of blows, but he wasn't strong enough. Finally, I managed to take 7 down. Who's number 1 now? With his defeat, 7 spat out 9 like I asked him, and he returned to his normal size.
9.
Well, you're ungrateful. I'll just let you stay eaten next time. I continued my calculator quest on days 50 through 52. I just need some glass paint and I'll have the final piece. Guess I better get some sand. I traveled to a desert to get plenty of material. I gathered plenty of sand for my calculator ship, plus some extra just in case. Alright, time to head home and smelt all this. I was about to head out, but I noticed 5 off in the distance. It looked like he was walking into a desert pyramid. Wonder what he's up to. I followed and walked in myself, running into 5 at the entrance. Hey 5, what's going on?
5.
You're looking for the treasure here, and you'll share half if I help you?
5.
Well, sounds good to me. Let's get looking. We looked around for a bit with no luck. Finally, I looked into the pattern in the middle again. I wonder. I went to the middle and dug up the center block. Sure enough, there was a hole underneath and we could see some chests at the bottom.
5.
5, wait! I had noticed a trap at the bottom and managed to stop 5 just in time before he could jump down and set it off. Hang on, buddy. Let's disarm that trap first. I dug down carefully and broke the pressure plate. 5 then gathered the loot and we made our way back up. Nice! Can I have my half now?
5.
What? But you promised!
5.
Rude! Give me my half! I moved towards 5 and he hit me back. Angry, I ran back and started to fight him. He started hitting me with his diamond sword, and I fought back with my Valhalla sword, and of course my math book. We went back and forth with attacks, but it was clear that 5 didn't stand a chance against my increasing power and abilities. I continued to show my intense power, and I could tell 5 was beginning to let up. This wasn't like my other encounters. They were actually a pushover. It didn't take long at all for 5 to surrender. He apologized and handed over my half of the loot.
5.
Fine, I'll forgive you, but only if you come help me at my base.
5.
Awesome. I'll see you later then. I took my loot and happily headed back home to finish my calculator. On days 53 through 55, I returned back to my base and immediately put the sand into a furnace. During the smelting process, I decided to do some building. I started replacing the majority of the blocks in my base with colored wool to make it more lively. It's looking better already. Just as I finished up, 5 arrived. I figured I still had time before the sand was finished up, so I built a house for him as well.
5.
Wow, being nice to others has brought me a lot of good fortune lately. While I was at it, I decided to do something nice for Zero as well. I began improving his room and made it more colorful, just as I did for mine. After completing the finishing touches, Zero had returned to see a surprise.
0.
I'm glad you like it. Seeing Zero's excitement for the improvements I did to his house felt really good. Now that that's finished, I better go check to see if the glass is done. I walked back to the furnace to collect the completed glass and began working on my vehicle. Using the ingredients, I rebuilt my calculator. Time to claim the next gem. On days 56 through 59, I now had my calculator rebuilt, so I could finally make it to the Sky Fortress. It's moving time. After a while, I spotted the fortress where Kay was still waiting. Unfortunately for them, my calculator was fast enough to fly by with ease. That was easy. I landed my ship and began to infiltrate the fortress. It was unlike anything I had ever seen before. Wow. After some searching, I found the next gem, but it was being guarded by a giant Dundus. It can never be easy, can it? Before I could get the surprise attack, the monster spotted me and charged in with the intent to kill. As the guard rushed towards me, I used my division gem to keep him at bay for as long as possible. It didn't take long for the Dundus to spawn a bunch of smaller tornadoes to attack me. The fight quickly became very overwhelming as the guard kept spawning more tornadoes and hitting me with a slam attack. I ran from the swarm of twisters and slashed at them with my levitating sword. The mini tornadoes were pretty strong on their own, so I switched between different attacks to take them out. I then realized that the Dundus was healing itself. Running back, I started slashing and hitting it as fast as I could to keep it from healing in time. I needed to be extremely careful, or else there was a chance my enemies could sweep me off my feet and send me plummeting to my doom. I did what I could to stay in the middle of the platforms, but this was made difficult by the army of tornadoes. Luckily though, I was never knocked off to my death. After a long battle, I managed to take down the beast. It dropped a new sword called Keeper of the Clouds that allowed me to summon my own miniature tornadoes. Oh yeah! On days 60 through 62, I finally claimed the next equation gem. Its power gave me 5 additional hearts as well as a spiked shield. I can't wait to test this out. I hopped on my ship and touched back down to the ground. Just then, In emerged and stopped me in my tracks. You're still helping Infinity? Look, numbers are just bad news. Most of them have been jerks to me, and I'm a number 2. Look, I know I killed X. I'm sorry. Before I could finish, In lunged at me. I took out my Keeper of the Clouds and began to defend myself from In's onslaught. He was a one-trick pony with his punctuation gem, and although his ground pound attacks were powerful, I could tell I've grown stronger than our previous encounters. I overwhelmed him with my ever-growing arsenal of abilities until it was becoming one-sided. In realized he couldn't keep up much longer. He quickly fled the scene. Did I almost just apologize? On days 63 through 66, I was heading home when I spotted Infinity picking on 6. 6!
Infinity.
What do you want? Suddenly, infinity zapped me, showing me a strange vision. The world was set entirely ablaze, and along the flaming landscape were numbers all dead on the ground. Infinity loomed over the rubble, laughing.
Infinite.
Suddenly, I snapped out of the vision. You want infinite suffering? You're such a jerk! Wait a minute. That kind of sounds like me. Huh. Bummer. I charged into battle. With the power of the 3 gems, I was confident I could take down the number. He piled on countless projectiles at me from the sky above. Each one that he managed to hit would deal massive damage, so I did my best to evade him. I shot at him with my math book projectiles and used my Keeper of the Clouds to move further into the air. When I was able to get up close, I slashed away, but the powerful deity wouldn't give up. We clashed and clashed, but I was beginning to weaken. Despite my efforts, infinity was too powerful. Even with 3 gems, it's not enough.
Infinity.
I didn't stand a chance, so I took 6 and made a run for it. We returned home on days 67 through 70. 6 seemed very relieved.
6666.
You're welcome. Now let's get you a place to stay. I quickly built a home for 6 to match the others. He was very excited and ran inside right away. Glad he likes it. Now I think I'll get some more diamonds and upgrade. I went mining in another cave and found a much better haul of diamonds this time. Perfect! This is plenty for more armor. I took them home and crafted my diamonds into leggings. I'm much more sturdy now. Continuing to expand the base, I made some paths that went from house to house. Afterwards, I made an extravagant pool for only the best to lounge in. Now this is what it feels like to be number 1.
3.
Number 3 cannonballed into the pool without hesitation. Ugh, hey, come on, 3. I'm trying to relax here. 0 jumped in after, and they both started having a little pool party. Well, at least they're having fun. Just then, 6 came up to me with important news. 6666. You have a lead on the next gem? Let's go! On days 71 through 73, I arrived at a strange area with 6. There, a giant game board was on the ground.
666.
I don't know what this is either. It looks like some kind of puzzle. Just then, a strange guardian emerged before us.
If you wish to get your next clue, you must beat me in a game of Floorball.
Floorball? What even is that?
It is a game that is of great fame.
I love games. Let's do it.
You look like you have something to prove, so I'll let you have the first move.
I examined the board closely, trying to carefully make my first move. I knew that every turn mattered in these games. Think, Max. Nah, this is boring.
Very well, foolish number. Then I'll bring you eternal slumber.
Suddenly, the Guardian attacked. He slashed me with his scythe, doing a good amount of damage. I sent my whirlwinds at him and used my math book to blast him, but he kept stumbling towards me. He hit me with his scepter and I dodged before sending chomping jaws in his direction. Suddenly, he started to summon mummies to aid him. I hit them with my swords and math book, but my vision went dark as the Guardian cast blindness on me. With both his army and himself attacking me, I was beginning to become overwhelmed. Still, I did what I could to remain focused. I honed in my abilities, shooting blasts and using my blades to thin the army. Over time, it was actually working. If I kept this up, they would be toast in no time. I kept fighting despite the low vision until it was just the Guardian left again. With one final hit, the Guardian went down. Upon his death, he dropped a map. Secret Club. This must be where the final gem is. I began traveling towards the location on my map to find the final equation gem. As night fell, phantoms suddenly swooped down to attack me. I guess I haven't slept in a minute. I used my mini tornadoes on them and they flew up to avoid them. They kept swooping in, but I shot at them with my equation book and slashed with my levitation sword that killed them off one by one. The swarm tried their best to take me down, but it was no use. I'm number 1, baby! Since I was reminded in my sleep, I decided to head home and get some rest. During my slumber, I had a very interesting nightmare. I was standing in front of my massive army of ones. Whoa, this is what I always wanted. As I was admiring my army, 0 came up to me crying.
0.
No, don't say that. I'd never hurt you, 0. I tried to comfort him, but he started to run away. 0, wait! Once he was gone, infinity appeared before me.